Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah sallallahu alayhi wasallam amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my dear brothers and sisters. Welcome back to another Q&A where we have now 3 guests, me, myself, Dawah man, and Ustad Abu Taymiyyah. Okay, so in today's video, my brothers and sisters, we're going to discuss imitating the kuffar. What's the ruling on imitating the kuffar? What is imitating the kuffar? And I'm going to pose some questions to the 2 brothers, and inshallah we can clear some doubts. So without even longing it, I'm going to go straight into the first question, which is, what is the definition, what is the fine line when it comes to imitating the kuffar? Ustad, do you want to go first, inshallah?
Okay, Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala, he's got a very nice speech where he put down the guidelines in regards to imitating the kuffar. And just briefly mentioning inshallah ta'ala what he mentioned in summarization is anything that أن يقوم به الإنسان ما يختص به الكفار, to carry out something that is specific to the kuffar. And as soon as you see something, for example, if you was to see this, it would become clear straight away that this is not from the things that are specific to the kuffar. Okay? As for something now that has become so widespread between the people, even if the asal, the origin of it has been taken from the kuffar, as long as it doesn't go against the sharia like Quran and Sunnah, from the text of the Quran and the Sunnah, like for example, brothers and sisters, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam prohibited wearing silk, he specifically mentioned this, then it is something that is fine as long as there isn't a nas that you're going against, and it's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So just to add on to what Ustad Abu Taymiyyah just mentioned, so you can summarize what he said in a way to make it a bit more orderly in your mind, is that imitating the kuffar is of 2 types. The first type is that which is impermissible, and the second type is that which is permissible. The impermissible one is that which is specific to them, in terms of their religion, in terms of them and what they do, in terms of their code and their conduct, things that are specific for them. And there are other things and that's haram. Now the one that is permissible is things that the kuffar do, but it's not specific to them. It's become so widespread now that everyone does it. Like riding a car. Do the kuffar ride a car?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. Do we ride a car?
Yeah.
It's not imitating them because it's something that's so widespread, it's not specific to them, you see. Like if I say to you, for example, cross, what comes to your mind straight away? Christian. If I say bindi spot, what comes to your mind? Hindus, right? So, but when I say car, what comes to your mind? It's a human being.
Yeah.
Something that it's just like, think of that item, what comes to your mind straight away? Okay. Whatever comes to mind is what you associate with it, and that's what it is, you see.
Okay.
So something to which you can't say, nah, this is specifically for the kuffar, or this is specifically for, sinners, or something specific that innovators do. It's just general people, then that's permissible.
Okay. So then I'd bring the question in, is then sort of, we discussed the issue of nasheed. Now so many Muslims are doing nasheed. Now that's become something normal. So why is that now imitating kuffar?
So, akhi, the nasheed is not imitating the kuffar. The hadith that we have a problem with them is when the Prophet said, "Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum." Anyone who imitates the people is from them. So this hadith is not just specific to kuffar. The Prophet said, if you imitate the kuffar, you are from them. If you imitate the sinners, you might be a Muslim, but you imitate sinners, you are what?
A sinner.
You're from them. Yeah. Now the same way, if you innovate the people of Bidda, innovation, you're what?
From them.
You're from them.
Okay.
So we said nasheeds came from who? Did they come from Ahlul Sunnah?
No.
No, I spent the first 10 minutes of the video, which you can link here, explaining that it came from the people of Bid'ah, Sufis.
Okay.
Yeah? So because it came from them, if you do nasheeds, and remember we differentiate between nasheeds and poetry, 2 different things. But if you do nasheeds specifically, then what?
Then you imitate nasheed. Okay.
Not only that, the nasheeds that the people do, one of the criticisms that the scholars had is that you're imitating what? Women. Man tashabbaha biqawmin fahuwa minhum. You imitate the women, so you're from them now.
Okay.
And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam cursed those men who imitate the women, as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لعن الله المتشبهين من الرجال بالنساء. Allah Azza wa Jal has cursed the man who imitates the woman. Now, this is not something that is known for men to be doing. And on top of that, what a lot of these artists they do now is how, when they are singing and the movements that they make inside these videos, wallahi, I haven't seen it from any Muslim, or is not known to be from the Muslims' actions. Rather, it is known from people like 50 Cent, Drake, the way they act. And now the Muslims are doing exactly the same. The way they move their hands, the hand movements that they do, the way they speak, the tone of voice that they come with. So brothers and sisters, wallahi, let's not be deceived. You have to ask yourself now, when these people, they're moving their hands around like that, like monkeys, as it came in a narration, you see, are they doing something that the Muslims are known to do? Can you imagine yourself, Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, and also Abdullah ibn Abbas, Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, when they are, let's just say for example, they were doing poetry and they're moving their hands around like that? Wallahi, brothers and sisters, I think it's reaching a point now, it's becoming very, very sad. Wallahi, for us to be deluded and to be deceived that this is now something Islamic, when he is acting exactly the same as this other guy called Khalid now. What do they call that singer?
DJ Khalid.
DJ Khalid, naam, or Drake, or any of these other guys. Naam, brothers, wallahi, and sisters, it's sad.
Okay. So then that brings me on to my next question, which is then, is being on social media something which is imitating the kuffar? Because this is something we know that the kuffar started out doing. It was exclusive to them. They made it for their own platform to earn money and whatnot, and all of these sort of things. The Muslims, they don't have to go on to the social media platforms to do whatever they're doing. So now, is being on social media imitating the kuffar?
As I'm saying, it's not exclusive to them.
Okay.
When you think about using Facebook, does a kafir come to your mind? Like this kuffar?
Everyone.
I mean, to be honest, when I think about Facebook, the first guy that comes to mind is Ustad Abu Taymiyyah, because he's the only Facebook account I go to.
SubhanAllah.
You see,
Yeah.
something that's become so widespread amongst the people, like YouTube. So someone in the comments said, "Oh, so he's using YouTube imitating the Quran." No, because it's become widespread. Yeah, I'll give you another example. The Prophet ﷺ, he used to comb his hair a certain way. Yeah, he was told ﷺ that the Jews, they have their hair like that. And the Prophet straight away changed. Because that hairstyle was specific to who?
The Jews.
The Jews. You see,
Okay.
just imitating them. I'll give you another example. The mohawk that people wear. When you see the mohawk hairstyle, when they get like a fade hair,
Mohican,
zero
you
hair,
mean?
get a Mohican, they get the hair. Like when you think of that, straight away, what do you think? Does a Muslim come into mind in any way, shape, or form? A guy with a thobe or a tasbih or praying salah with a hairstyle. And straight you think of a punk rocker, something like that. You think of a kafir. So that hairstyle is now imitating kuffar.
Okay.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
So anything that is specific to them, generally speaking, is specific to them, then that's becomes.
No, I mean, just going back to the definition that I previously mentioned, someone carries out something that is specific to the kuffar. Now, for example, Facebook, is it specific for the kuffar, or is it a method where the people or the friends and families, they can socialize and also they can communicate with each other? It is something that has been set up for everyone to use, and it is widespread, and there isn't a nas, a text that specifically mentions that you can't use a means of socializing and also communicating with your family members. Rather, it's a means that helps us communicate with our family members and also our friends. No.
And then that leads me to my final question, which is, and a lot of people have sort of doubts concerning this, is sort of appearance. We see some sisters, they come out in jeans. We see brothers, they come out in sort of these clothes that are, Allahu Alam, like, sort of, these are clothes that the kuffar would wear.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the shabab and the youngsters and the youth, they don't know what's the fine line when it comes to appearance wise, when it comes to clothing and whatnot, like what's imitating the kuffar and what's not, like what do we wear?
Okay, so basically when I mentioned them guidelines that Ibn Uthaymin rahimahullah ta'ala said, take out the word kuffar and put the word men or women in there. Something now that is specific to women. Something now that is specific to carrying something out now that is specific to women. For a man to come out and start dressing like them from the things that are specific to them, then it would be the exact same hukum. It would be the exact same hukum. And likewise the other way around, vice versa.
Refresh, what was the question again?
So we know that a lot of sisters start wearing jeans out in the public, trousers. we know brothers start wearing certain clothings and they don't know the fine line between, is this imitating kuffar? Like, this is something that kuffar wear. Like, should I be coming out in a thobe all the time? Like, what do I do? Like,
So, before I answer that question, to stress the seriousness of dressing like the kuffar, okay? Abdullah ibn Amr ibn As radiyallahu anhuma was a sahabi of the Prophet ﷺ. He said something that's actually very quite severe. He basically mentioned that anyone who basically partakes in the festivals of the disbelievers, Halloween, Christmas, Easter, and just generally festivals that they have, and he imitates them in these festivals, whether he believes in it or not, he just imitates them. Put up a Christmas tree, set a pumpkin outside, he imitates them in it. And he imitates them in the clothing of the disbelievers. He said, if he dies like that, on the day of judgment, he will be resurrected with the disbelievers on the day of judgment. Because you are with those who imitate. If you imitate someone, you're from them. So on the day of judgment, who are you going to be with?
disbelievers.
And he specifically mentioned their festivals and
Yeah,
dressing.
basic.
You see, so from the get-go, this is something not to be taken lightly, something to be taken very seriously. Okay, good. So now that we've got that to the side, what are some guidelines to what they wear? Some things they wear for religious purposes. You're not allowed to wear them. That definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. Can't wear no crosses, can't wear no priest robes, none of their religious garments, none of their religious outfits. Now, other things that they wear that may not be religious but specifically uniquely known for them, you can't wear that. Okay? Sisters sometimes, to add on what Ustad Abu Taymi said, kind of fall into a bit more of a double issue. You know, when the ones who wear trousers, and I know you guys probably don't know this. Even me, when I heard it, I was like, wow, I didn't realize it was that deep. So I'm not attacking you sisters, just bringing something to your attention that maybe you didn't know. But trousers that a lot of sisters wear nowadays, trousers and leggings and tights, even all of this comes under the thing of trousers, because back in the days, about Romeo and Juliet times, they used to wear leggings. The men used to wear the leggings. So this is all something that is unique to the men.
And the Victorians as well.
And the Victorians. So this is all something unique to the men. Sisters, you're falling, by wearing trousers, you're falling into two big problems. You're imitating the men, and you're imitating who? Disbelieving men specifically, who used to wear these leggings out in public and so on and so forth. We can wear trousers, no problem, but the ones that are baggy and loose and they don't stick to our clothes and expose everything. But subhanallah, sisters, like you're imitating men. And what was it the Prophet said? Like Allah's curse. Allah's curse is the one who imitates the opposite gender. And you have to understand what the curse, the la'na of Allah is. It means that Allah's mercy won't reach you. And know that the Prophet said we will only enter Jannah through the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So sisters who are wearing trousers and they're wearing shirts and they're dressing like men, you're imitating disbelievers and you're imitating men. Same falls for the men who wear the earrings. They wear now in our modern day age, who is it that wears all the tight clothes? The women.
Yeah.
So now you got men who are wearing these tight trousers. I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Same. It's not just for clothing; it's also for hairstyles and so on and so forth. So it's a very big issue.
Yeah.
It's a general issue. But I would say, it's just generally speaking, stay on the safe side. Dress like the believers dress. Some people will say to you, for example, I heard a video online by some guy who claims to be a scholar for the Muslims in the West, and he said that Ibn al-Qayyim said that the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is to dress how your people dress. And he had the audacity to say that if the Prophet ﷺ was alive today, he'd be wearing a suit and a tie. He didn't say it like that, but he kind of implied it. Sorry, he didn't say it like that, but he kind of implied it. So I'm like, yes, the sunnah of your people, of the Prophet ﷺ, is to dress how your people dress, but not if it's specific to the kuffar.
Yeah.
Because this other hadith that we have, it shows that there's an exception. Yeah, dress how your people dress, no problem. If your people dress however they dress, but as long as that item of clothing is not something uniquely specific to the kuffar, to the innovators, if it's people of good, people of khair, you see what I'm saying? And imitating the people of good and people of khair, it will bring you closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Ali al-Qari, rahimahullah, He said, you are going to be with those who you imitate. If you imitate the disbelievers and the innovators and the people of fisq, like, you know, the women who do zina and the men who do zina and the people of music and so on and so forth, he said, you're going to be from them. But the same way, how beautiful is this? And he goes, if you imitate the people of piety and taqwa and ihsan and Quran, you're going to be from them. That's why, you know, at the beginning of the video, I wanted to wear the shimar. And the brothers, you guys told me, he said, don't wear it, because you look like a joker. And now, what did I say? I said, what did the poet say? If you can't be like them, imitate them. Meaning who? The scholars. No. So I'm not saying I'm a scholar, but I want to be like them. I can't be like them, so let me try and imitate them. You're going to be from those who you imitate, inshallah. Yeah. And then I'll let you have the final say, Akhi. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. When
this topic, it's just the Prophet was so severe in not being with, like, from, he used to love to oppose imitating the disbelievers. Like the Prophet would say, don't drink with your left hand or eat with your left hand. Why? Because the disbelievers used to do it with their left hand, right? The Prophet told us, the moment he heard the Jews, they wear their hair like this, he changed it straight away. The Prophet told us, my ummah will be upon good as long as they don't delay iftar for fasting, and as long as they don't rush the suhoor, meaning leave your suhoor or your sari, as the Pakistanis say, late as you can until Fajr kicks in. Because he said the disbelievers, the Jews and the Christians, what do? Yeah. They make their fasting, they delay the iftar, and they make the suhoor quick. And the Prophet would always mention, to the point, just before he died, he is dying. What did he say? He said, may the curse of Allah be upon the Jews and the Christians. Why? Because they made the graves of their prophet, they made their what's that? They made their masajid. They made the graves of their prophets masjids. They turned them to places of worship. Just before he's dying, he's telling kuffar, be careful, so on and so forth. So it's something very dangerous.
Okay, two things that I want to point out, inshallah ta'ala, brothers and sisters. The first thing is, I don't want the brothers and sisters that are listening to feel like we're trying to attack them and to make everything haram. Rather, wallahi, it's just as a rahmah, as a mercy to you all, for you lot to understand and take heed, inshallah ta'ala. As Allah Azza wa Jalla, He said, وَذَكِّرْ فَإِنَّ الذِّكْرَ تَنْفَعُ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. Remind, for indeed the reminder benefits the believer. So inshallah ta'ala, you take heed, you listen, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, you are from those who, when they listen the hadith, they take it on and then they go spread it, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, it's a sadaqatun or a ujurun jariyah, a continuous reward till the day you are resurrected. Whatever you learn, take these hadith, and inshallah ta'ala, make dua that Allah Azza gives you the ability to act upon it. We're not trying to point out and make people feel bad at home, because we've all had a past, we've all gone through stages where we made mistakes, where we may have fallen into some of the things that were mentioned, but we're just trying to remind, inshallah ta'ala, so hoping that you lot are going to be from those who take heed and fall under the hadith when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man da'a ila al-huda kana lahu ajra mithla man tabi'ahu la yanqusu dhalika min ujurihi shay'a." Whoever calls the guidance, for him is the reward of everyone that follows him up on that guidance, and he doesn't take anything away from his reward. The second thing is, I don't want those who are going to listen to this to think that we're trying to incite hatred and enmity between us and the non-Muslims. La abadan. Okay? We have every right to dress how we want, to advise the people what the Sharia mentions. Now, that doesn't necessitate that we are going to go and enforce these opinions on the non-Muslims. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us to do. Lakum deenakum walidin. This is our religion, and then you have your religion. Naam. So we, as a Muslim, we have every right to act upon what the Prophet ﷺ told us to do when it comes to dressing how we will, and at the same time we call the people billati ahsan. You don't go and start causing problems and things like that, and wallahi, this is not from our religion. Here in the West, while we are here going and causing problems to making the people wear thawb like a non-Muslim, me enforcing the thawb on him, telling him to dress like a Muslim, no, wallahi, this is not something that we've been commanded to do, but it's just something that we have every right to wear and do.
And also, just because you said, the brother, he mentioned, Hafidhullah, he said that, we're not coming from a place of judgment or anything. Like, you guys know me personally, when watching me and they've seen my journey over the years. In Jahiliyyah, I myself, I used to, do music and everything, and very different.
And Imran didn't have a beard as well.
Yeah, and when I started practicing, I never used to have a beard. I used to wear all clothes and whatnot. But with all due respect, I had some tight trousers, man, and stuff. I got sucked into that fitna, bro. I was getting Zara and I was buying them tight trousers. Zara is not a woman, it's a shop. Yeah. I know some people are not from the UK. So I'm saying, you know, these things, subhanallah, myself, I had, you know, to learn the hard way. So you can't say we're judging, you can't say we're looking down or we're trying to make things peak for you. Like, I've been through your journey. This is me over the last 7-8 months, really and truly. It's not long. But we are slaves to the text. The Prophet said, فَإِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنْ كَالْجَمَلِ الْأُنْفِ حَيْثُمَا قِيدٌ قَادٌ. The believer is like a camel that's grabbed from the nose, and he goes to wherever he's pulled. Notice that the Prophet he said that if you hold the camel by the nose and the camel resists, it's going to rip its nose. So the Prophet is saying it's like we're held by the nose. So we're going to be moving around like quickly, making sure that any resistance doesn't cause our nose to rip. Like wherever the ayah or the hadith takes me, I'm going there. And wallahi, until we really do that, we're not going to be in a good position in life.
Wallahi, brothers and sisters, just remember one thing, inshallah ta'ala. Allah Azza wa Jal, He says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Allah will not change the state of the people until they change themselves. You know, the sins that we do, all the mistakes that we fall into, there's people that are suffering because of our own sins. Zainab bin Jahsh radiallahu anha, she said, أَنَهْلِكُ وَفِينَا الصَّالِحُونَ. We will be destroyed, and amongst us are the salihun, the righteous. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied back and he said, نَعَمْ إِذَا كَثُرَ الْخَبَثِ. If evil now becomes widespread, everybody will be taken. The earthquake is not going to call you, you've been a good boy, just relax, you leave. Light is going to come, it's going to take everyone. And likewise, any adab that comes. Okay, so brothers and sisters, wallahi, we need to change. If we want the suffering to stop, we can try every way, and it has been tried. People have tried protesting, they've tried signing petitions. It is us that need to change. We need to change the way we behave when it comes to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And until that happens, the suffering of the Muslim ummah is not going to stop. You know, brothers and sisters, wallahi, we don't get paid to do this. Okay, it is just that we want good for you. Wallahi, we want good for you. Me and here, we're not getting paid on an hourly basis, £8 an hour to record this video. No, wallahi, we're not. You know, we just want this goodness for you so that you take heed and inshallah ta'ala benefit, and to benefit the rest of your family members inshallah ta'ala, so that we all can improve as Muslims, because all of us have faults and mistakes. We all want to improve as Muslims inshallah, so hence why we are advising all of you lot, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best.
Jazakallah khair Ustad and Imran for that very beneficial lesson, I hope. My brothers and sisters, I just want to end by saying all of the brothers have been, when all of the sisters that are practicing now as well, have been in a place that you are currently going through. So it's not like we're coming from a place of sort of, we don't understand what you're going through. We do understand what you're going through. We was there, we did it, and now alhamdulillah, we're trying to follow the path of the Sahaba, and first and foremost the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
As they say, been there, done that, bought the t-shirt, wore that.
Exactly. So my brothers and sisters, if you did benefit, inshallah, do share it amongst your group chats and your friends and your families to also spread the khair. And until the next time, it's Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.